Hello and welcome to Decorating Distractions with Susan from Color Envy Design. As part of my Stay Safe, Stay Home, Love Home concept, I'll be sharing tips and tricks with you so you're inspired to love your home a whole lot more while you're staying home a whole lot more. And for more of these tips and tricks, you can click the link below. Have you been putting off a painting project because you just haven't had the time? Well, you cannot use that as an excuse anymore. And you're in luck because today's tip and trick is cutting in around doorways while painting and paint color selection. It's no secret that I love to paint. My husband and I have been painting our own spaces together for well over 20 years. It's also no secret I've been sneaking back into those spaces and repainting them more than once, just because I can. But why? I do it because a fresh coat of paint is the most economical way you can refresh and update a space. The perfect color on the walls can make a person so happy, and the imperfect color on the walls can make a person so unhappy. How many of you can relate to this? I believe in the power of the perfect paint color on the walls so much I've made data-driven color consultations the core of my interior decorating and remote e-design services. Many of the clients that hire me for these services are DIYers just like me. And when we have the conversation about what holds them back from tackling their painting projects, aside from picking the perfect paint color, of course, is cutting in around the doorways. And I totally get this. I'm not a professional painter. I'm someone who's been painting and repainting spaces for over 20 years, and I'd like to share with you how I cut in around the doorways to inspire you to tackle your own painting project at home, because I know you can totally do this, and there's no better time than now. So let's get painting around that doorway, shall we? And here we are. Since we're focusing on cutting in on the vertical trim, such as doorways and windows, I've already taped off the horizontal surfaces, such as the top of the doorway trim and the baseboard trim, to protect them from drips. I also suggest using a sheet on the floor as opposed to plastic because it lays flatter and doesn't bunch up around your feet or the ladder like plastic does. Once you get good at cutting in, it's much quicker than taping all the vertical surfaces, then cutting in around them. And believe it or not, you can actually get a cleaner line than using tape, because sometimes the paint does seep through the tape, and that really stinks. So first, be sure to have a small container for the paint so you don't have to keep dipping into the paint pan on the floor. And next, be sure to use a good quality angled bristle brush. That's key to getting a crisp edge. Don't skimp on the brush. I always use this short-handled 2-inch type. Okay, you'll want to dip the bristles into the paint, wipe it off a little, and you want to off-brush some of the excess paint so you don't have too much when you get near your molding. So we're off-brushing a little bit, and the key is to press down, okay? Press until you find that clean edge before you get to the molding, okay? So we found our clean edge with the bristles, and we're gonna bring it right to the molding and straight down. One more time, wipe it off brush. Trick is pressing, drag, find your clean edge, get it right up to that molding and all the way down. And that's how I cut in around the doorways without tape. Next up, why and how I chose this color. So what is the process I use with my clients to pick the perfect paint colors? In most spaces, we're working with some type of fixed finish. It could be a wall-to-wall carpet, a granite countertop, tile flooring, backsplash, and even painted cabinetry. I call these fixed finishes the boss of the space, because in order to get a cohesive look, the paint color and all the other decor decisions must play nicely with it. The trick to choosing the paint colors that don't fight with the boss is understanding exactly what color the boss is. But how do we know for sure? Shuffle through endless paint chips and try to match it by eye? Ask your friends, scour the internet for that perfect, no-fail, neutral paint color that works with everything that more times than not looks completely different in your space? Using color data collected with a colorimeter and color science, we can understand what color families we're really working with in those bossy fixed finishes. And once we understand the color's DNA, then my clients and I can quickly eliminate all the color families that won't work and narrow it down to what will work. And since I can interpret and manipulate the data, I can take lighting and the client's personal taste into consideration and suggest colors from their favorite paint brands that are lighter, darker, or even complementary to the fixed finish. I don't subscribe to mythical, subjective undertone theories or what colors we think we see. Working with consistent, repeatable color data and color science and understanding attributes such as hue, value, and chroma, it's easy to show my clients what works, what doesn't, and why. And once they get it, it takes so much overwhelm out of the color selection process for them. They get to choose with confidence from samples we know will work. No more stressing and guessing. Let's take a look at what's happening in this space. Like many of you, when we bought this house, we inherited a fixed finish we just didn't love, but it didn't make any sense to change it. And like we discussed, it's the boss of the space. It's the rug. And it's Kelly green, and it has a pattern in it the previous owner interpreted as gold when they chose the paint. For us, the paint color is way too bright and aggressive, and I wanted to visually calm down the bright diamond pattern using the perfect color paint. Using the data captured with my colorimeter, I was able to know immediately what color families would work and narrowed all this down to this. And because I understand how to interpret and manipulate the data, I know my choice won't be too pink, too light, too dark, or too yellow. Let's look at how the original color affects the pattern in the carpet. The paint makes it read gold. Now let's see what happens when I put my chosen paint color sample board next to the carpet. Oh, and another tip and trick, always test on a sample board, never directly on your walls. So, the diamond pattern actually appears to take on the calmer, more subdued attributes of the new color. It's called simultaneous contrast, and that's why getting the paint color just right matters. It actually affects the way we perceive all the other colors in the space. Gold paint, gold pattern. Tan paint, tan pattern. And since there's a bit of black in the carpet, I'm totally taking advantage of that. And will be sure to use lots of black in my accessories, such as pillows, blankets, and picture frames. Now we have a beautiful, calm, sophisticated color palette that ties in and works beautifully with what we once thought was a too bright carpet, and now we love it because it all works together because of the perfect paint color and proper decor styling. So has all this inspired you to tackle your painting project? If you have any questions about this tutorial or how we can work together on your decorating or painting project 100% remotely, and yes, we can pick paint color remotely using color science, please reach out to me at susan@colorenvydesign.com. I'd love to hear from you. And when you visit my website in the link below for more inspiration, check out some reviews and stories my clients posted on Google about how we collaborated to solve their color conundrums and decor dilemmas. I so appreciate and thank you for the time you've taken out of your day to watch this video. Sending you tons of good wishes and success on your project from my home to yours. Be well, my friends. Until next time.